Welcome to GD News, your number one
Hey,
source
wait a
for...
minute. Wrong show. Welcome to Know Your GD Mod. It is I, your host, Icarus, and as you can see, today we have someone you guys all might know from the best source of GD news. We have Vortrox.
Yes, the number one source.
Yes, unbiased and not clickbaiting. Probably my favorite source of GD news. Go to.
Heck, heck yeah, bro.
Alright, so I'll just hop right into the first question that I always ask first because, it's a pretty basic question. How did you find out about GD?
Well, I found out when Geometry Dash Meltdown came out. I think it was on a Christmas Day. I forget what year it was. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. And yeah, that got me hooked immediately. That game was so fun, even though I raged a lot. So I never downloaded the light version actually. I just moved straight from Meltdown to the full version, and I have no regrets. I still love it. And I bought the game like 5 separate times on different tablets, iPads, and then of course my computer.
That's cool. Did you that's cool. So, I'm assuming you bought the full version shortly after.
Yeah, like probably like a week or two after. I begged my mom for $2.
Nice, nice. What update was that again? Because to be honest, I don't remember the updates that well.
Yeah, Meltdown was in like mid 2.0.
Mm. That's cool. That's cool. So when you got the full version, how did you find out about the editor and like building levels and stuff?
Well, I mostly just played the original levels for like the first few weeks, and then they got too hard, so I moved on to online levels, and I specifically remember playing like a featured tab, Adiel, of course, because he was like all over the featured tab in 2.0, and through that, I tried to make my own levels, like kind of like Adiel, like using songs he used, except I had nowhere near the creative ability that he had. So I basically started like dozens, maybe even hundreds of levels that never went anywhere, but it was still fun. It took me years to actually finish a level though.
That's cool. That's cool. Once what style did you start trying out as building? I guess like obviously
Well,
Adia is, but like what did you what style did you try for building?
for styles, I was never really familiarized myself with any style. So, I mean, I tried to start off with more typical design. My biggest inspiration at first was Heion, who made some levels like Isolation, I think, and some other things. All
Yeah,
good levels.
that's kind of cool
And
because Heion is also probably one of my biggest inspirations in level
yeah, he's
making too.
awesome.
His gameplay is so awesome.
For real.
Yeah,
His gameplay really inspired me, which I'm glad that part I still take into my inspiration like with levels. Because I think gameplay is super important, and looking up to somebody like Heion, I think helped me since he's like really good at gameplay. But as for decoration, it was kind of a weird thing. I guess let's move on to my first level I made in 2020, Boombox, which ended up being my first creator point as it got star rated. So like that level, I like am proud of in a weird way because it's not like modern or design. It's like a really weird style, and like I'm proud because like it's weird. I like made that without really knowing what standards were like at the time. Like I wasn't invested in the community as much. So that level's like in a weird area that I'm happy with because I feel like it really stands out. Although it's not well polished at all.
yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. I actually haven't played that level, but speaking of your levels, I also played your most recent level. I think it was what was it? It was what was it called? It was the Myers-Briggs level. I think that was.
Yeah, INFP.
Yes, that is. I found that level super cool because I also am an INFP, and I was like,
Oh, for real?
yeah, I was like, what? The text in this level seems awfully familiar to my
Yeah.
life.
Based, yeah.
I was like, where do I know this from? And I was like, oh, it's INFP. Wait a minute, I have this saved somewhere. Yep, I'm an INFP.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Cause like normally I don't like levels like in that style, but like that level, it was like, it was different than the others. Cause like when Minimal Meadow got rated, I wasn't the most like happy about that obviously, but like this level like it actually I actually can like feel what it's trying to put out, you know.
Yeah, I went with a more simple style on INFP because like the main points of it are like how humans are never satisfied with what they have. So I kind of just went with like the most basic raw style that Geometry Dash has to offer instead of trying to be like super extravagant. And I think it worked out well. I'm personally a big fan of 1.0 stuff, so yeah. I have a soft spot for it.
Yeah, that was super cool. So obviously you said Adiel and Heion, but were there any creators that made you super inspired that you like wanted to be like, or that you just like that inspired you? I guess. Yeah.
Um, it's hard to pinpoint exactly who, but I know that I looked up to a lot of art creators, although, because my style originally was more art-based, and I guess it still can be considered a little bit more artsy, not really. But, so there's like, what, Jonathan GD, I've always loved his levels, because they're more like cartoony and artsy, not like your typical style. Then there's other people like Cthulhu, and a few other people like that. I can't really think of any more off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. All pretty solid creators. I can see. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask about some of your standard stuff, your like sending standards now. So
Okay.
I'm gonna. So my first question to standards is, what do you want to see more of in levels that you don't see enough of already?
Well, when I look at levels, the main thing I'm looking for is creativity and originality. And then, of course, execution, although if something's really creative and execution's a little bit off, I still have a good chance of sending it because I just value creativity very high. And I feel like if more people are creative, there would be so many more varied levels rather than your typical styles like glow or modern, which generally, if you don't do, if like they're not perfect, it's very forgettable and you don't like it at all.
Yeah,
At least for me.
that's super true. Now I'll the contrast of the contrast. No, the contradict. I don't know the word. The opposite of that question. What do you want to see less of in levels? Just what's something that you see too much of? There's just like, oh my gosh, stop with this. I've seen enough.
Lately something that's really been ticking me off is remakes and sequels, mostly remakes. Because I feel like a lot of them are just there just to ride off the success of the original level. I don't want to like point out any specific levels and hate on them, but like a lot of remake Extreme Demons are just feel unnecessary. Like that's not to say they shouldn't exist, because people can create whatever they want, but like if you're gonna remake something, it has to be really good and improve a lot upon the original, and sometimes they just don't do that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I saw your video, but yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree with some of the points you made in that video and what you said here because like I feel like some of them are just like you're just making this to like ride off to success as you said, and like
Yeah.
there and it's always seems to be like the top like 20 levels that are getting remakes. Like what if someone like remade like even a lower level on like just the lower on the list, I feel like it would even like make it more acceptable then. I'm not saying that the other ones aren't acceptable, but you know, like if
Yeah.
someone like remade like Carnage mode or something, that'd be like unexpected and kind of cool because like it's
hmm
Carnage mode, I guess you could say. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and plus with Carnage mode, that's a good example of a level that's I forget if it was early 2.1 or late 2.0, but it's something that's aged like okay, but not very good. So like more modern decoration would actually really improve it and make it a better experience, I guess.
yeah, that's that's totally true. So now I this is a question I like to ask people that I get tons of variants of answers from, but do you value gameplay or decoration more? They're both very important, but I know some people tilt one way towards over the other.
See, that's a tough one, but I think both are equally important in their own ways, but I feel like a level with really good decoration, if the gameplay is like abominable, it just ruins the whole experience. And like especially for easier levels, for extreme demons, I mean, I don't really play them at all. I don't think any extreme demon is fun at all,
Facts.
but I know some people do. A lot of people do, and a bad gameplay can really ruin that, but it can still make it fun to watch, which is a weird thing that's been happening in the community where levels are being made more to watch almost than to play, which is interesting, and that's like a whole discussion of its own, really.
Yeah, I can see that. That's cool. That makes sense. Yeah. Now, I think I've asked you a good chunk of GD questions, but outside of Geometry Dash, what games do you play, if any?
Well, outside of Geometry Dash, I don't really play that many games, but I play Team Fortress 2 a lot. Like that's definitely my favorite game alongside Geometry Dash. CS:GO sometimes, although I haven't played recently, but I do like CS:GO. But overall, Team Fortress 2 and Geometry Dash are the two best games ever made, and I stand by that statement.
Nice, nice. Team Fortress 2. That's the game with the that's an older game, right? Well, not
It's an older game, but it's still surprisingly relevant. It's a game Valve made for Steam, and it's free to play. It's been around for like over 10 years, but it's still somehow relevant and great.
wait, is
Although it has its flaws, of course, but
yeah,
good.
but all good games do.
Yeah.
Just look at Mario Kart Wii, but like you know.
Yeah.
But
Great
oh
game, by the
wait,
way.
is Team Fortress 2? That's the game with like the Scout, the Heavy, and that's where a bunch of the
Yeah, yeah,
memes
yeah.
come from.
Yeah. There's so
Yeah,
many memes around that game.
yeah, I've seen those. Those are funny.
Yeah, everybody's seen some Team Fortress 2 memes whether they realize it or not at some point.
That yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Um, so what character do you play? Because I know there's like different characters in there.
I find myself mostly playing Scout and Sniper. Scout's like the fast class and more up in the battle, and Sniper's more of a backlines class. You just kind of pick people off from a distance. So it's two very different play styles that I switch between. And I play a little bit of all the other classes too, but it's mostly Scout and Sniper.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So outside of video games, what do you like to do?
If I'm being honest, not that much. I guess I like hang out with family a lot and take with my dogs, of course. I love animals, and YouTube was, of course, as you mentioned. Other than that, I don't do much. I mean, I worked over the summer, which took up a lot of time, and now I'm going to my senior year of high school. But yeah, I don't. I need more hobbies.
Nice, nice. What kind of dogs do you have? Or dog?
uh, well, I have a mini pit bull, which is like a pit bull but small, and then I have two mutts. They're like a mix of everything.
Nice, nice. I think one of my friends has a pit bull. They're actually kind of nice because like everyone they get a bad reputation.
Yeah, they do, but they're like the nicest dogs as long as they're treated well.
That's true. That's true. Just like humans, kind of like as long as you
Yeah,
treat them well, you know. Animals have feelings too.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah. So I was gonna ask you more about your YouTube because it's been popping off recently. So how did you
Yeah, I'm
start your
glad.
YouTube channel?
Well, I started making really cringy YouTube videos on an old channel that I will not disclose when I was like in sixth grade or fifth grade even. They were bad, but um, it definitely kindled my interest in YouTube, which still lasts to this day. So my current account I made in 2016, I uploaded like weird little things every now and then. My first Geometry Dash video was like 4.5 years ago or something like that. And I uploaded like a bunch of different variety stuff. But I truly started like being an actual YouTuber in like 2 or 3 months ago when I uploaded my first GD News episode, which did really well considering it was my first. And since then I've been uploading like 1, 2, 3 times a week and I love it so far.
Yeah, it's been super cool because like I think when I first found your channel, you were around like 4,000-ish subscribers, and then I looked again recently, and didn't you just hit like 5,000 even? Or no?
I hit
Oh,
6.5 thousand.
oh my gosh, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3 month, a little under 3 months ago, I had 300 subscribers I gained throughout the years, and I went from 300 and now I'm at 6.5 thousand. It's kind of crazy.
that is crazy. That's a lot. I mean, that just shows that your content is really good.
I appreciate it.
Because like we both run information based geometry dash channels. Like obviously they're like different because you talk more about like community stuff. I just talk about
Yeah,
moderators, but like that's super cool. Like I mean I doubt I'll see that kind of growth until
you
like
never know.
that's true. But like man, that's cool. Like when how many subscribers does like each episode of GD News like get you? Because like ever since you started uploading those, as you said, like you've been getting tons of subs.
Well, it's hard to pinpoint an exact number because I think YouTube Studio is kind of inaccurate sometimes, but depending on how good and relevant the information is, it's between 200 and 500 subscribers each episode.
Sheesh, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool. What was I gonna say?
But
What's
yeah,
your
you should
oh
definitely keep up your stuff because when you like start uploading consistently and stuff, like more people will see it, of course. And as soon as like one episode does really good, they'll probably like it'll be like a snowball effect. Like that's how it's been for me. Like generally each thing I upload does better than the last.
yeah,
So it's like a snowball.
Yeah, I've been definitely been trying to be consistent like every 6 to 7 days, but
Yeah.
as I said before we started recording, this week was incredibly busy for me, but
Yeah, life happens.
yeah, but that's cool. That's cool. So we're at like 15-ish minutes, so I'm gonna do some like wrap up
Dang.
questions. Um, so before we head out, what would you say your like favorite YouTube video is
Favorite YouTube
that
video?
you've made? That you've made? Because like
That I've made. Okay.
yeah, because like I know there's like millions of
Yeah,
videos.
I couldn't pick a favorite video overall. That's like what? It's impossible. But of my videos, oh, that's a tough one. Recently, I've made a video like where I was sending extreme demons and like kind of reviewing them in a live setting to like sending them to RobTop. And I really like that video. It's like different than what I usually do. It's not scripted or anything. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I'm definitely gonna make another one of those like probably this weekend or something or next week.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. That was super cool. Rob Top rate Arcticus, but
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see. Uh, yeah. So, anything you want to say before you head out? Because I will obviously plug your links and stuff in the description. But anything you want to say before the end of the recording?
Um, subscribe to Icarus,
Yes, yes, that base take. Thank you.
based and based in Icarus pilled.
Base and Icarus. Yes. Well, everyone, thank you for watching this amazing episode. Check out Vortrox. I've known him for a while. He's one of the first people I met when I got creator points. He's super cool. All his links and stuff will be in the description below. And I will see you in the next episode, which might be... Actually, no, I'm not going to leak who it is. But, because it's a very big one. But,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys should be excited for this. But, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.
Awesome. Take care, guys.